love, welcome. How you doing? Tanestalin, Wagwan. It's me, Sinai Flary, and it's another episode of InIAhReason. And as usual, I'm joined by
Upful, cupful, blazing. Yeah, man, Asha Ice to the universe representing, Yeah, man, InIAhReason podcast, episode 5. Give thanks.
episode 5. It's good to be alive.
Is it?
So Asha, how have you been this last strong? Shall I say? I'm not gonna say weak. I'm gonna say strong.
Yeah, cause we keep it strong, always strong. Been really busy. Studio vibes, linking up with friends, and you don't know, linking with the family as usual. Doing what I man do in the studio, in the kitchen, in the parks, full joy in the sunshine. Lovely weather this strong, give thanks.
London's been really nice this week.
Yeah, man, the vibe kind of peak up, You get me? I say so. The energy is up because the sun is out and the vibe is nice. If you wear so much clothes and you kind of easy and a t-shirt and a small thing and you go good to go. See me I say?
So it almost feels like Jamaica.
Almost feel like Jamaica because there's no beaches, there's no coconut tree and no coconut man drink, but you don't know. You know what I say? The sunshine bring a good vibe because look how long I want to see the sunshine.
I know we had beasts from the east and we were sick and all that, so it's nice to see a little bit of sun.
Yeah, man, it's lovely to see the sunshine. So I give thanks.
Yeah, so hold on, you said you was in the kitchen, so how come you didn't bring a container for me or anything?
Yeah, I know if you find out. I say they want. If they want, they know. You understand? Just link up. You get me? I say you don't know it.
Yeah, man, of course. Okay, so everything's been good on my side. Everything's been good, busy, same kind of thing. My cold is still lingering, so I ain't got the garlic tea this week, but I just had some orange and stuff, so hopefully I'll be all right. But we have to still go through. So this is episode 5 of InIAhReason. I want to give thanks to everyone who's been supporting us and sending us emails and everything like that. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at InIAhReason@gmail.com. That's InIAhReason@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search INI, and don't forget is AH Reason Podcast, and you'll be able to find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So what's this?
WhatsApp number.
Oh, okay. So this is the WhatsApp. So what? You sorted out the WhatsApp number now?
Yeah, I have to do it because time apart and people want to link. You get me? I say.
Okay. So you see, look, Asher Heights came through. So guys, if you want to send us a WhatsApp, that could be topics, it could be comments, it could be feedback, it could be if you want to send a voice note to take part, for us to play on the podcast, we can. If you want to get in touch with us, you can WhatsApp InIAhReason, and this is the number. So it's 07576677477. So that's 07576677477, and we will get your WhatsApp messages. There's a lot of sevens in that number, Asha.
You don't know, 7 not the complete number, 7 not the divine number, so we give thanks, 7 wonders and 7 everything,
Yeah, give thanks for that, man. That's the natural mystic. So that's our WhatsApp line.
Yeah.
And also, before I get started, the topics we're going to be talking about this this episode. So, Saturday was Groundation Day. We're going to go into that. Everybody's going to be like, what's Groundation Day? If you're a member of the Rastafarian movement and community, you will know what Groundation Day is. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to be discussing a documentary that aired this week. And funny enough, today is the anniversary of the murder of Stephen Lawrence. We're going to be talking about that as well. And then also we're going to be talking about the Windrush Scandal. So it's kind of like a heavy one this week. We ain't really got much good news, but we're going to... Sometimes you have to be serious when there's serious issues going on, especially relating to INI.
Yeah,
so we're going to, take our time and go through these topics and touch base and everything like that.
Yeah, we're not going to make up no story or fabricate no story to make it sound nice and make it sound good. Because we're not there for sugarcoat now. You understand? We just there for give them the truth and reason about the truth from INI perspective, from INI view. You get me I say?
Yeah, man. All right. So, firstly, yesterday, Saturday, was the 21st of April.
21st of April.
Yeah, and that's a special date in the Rasta calendar.
Very, very much so. Very much so.
So it's known as Groundation Day.
Groundation.
Big up all members of the Rastafarian
Yeah.
movement.
Rastafari.
Rastafari. No matter what house or tribe you come under, wanna big you up. So whether you're Naya Bingi, whether you're Boba Shanti, whether you're 12 tribes, much love and respect. So Asha, what is Groundation Day for those who don't know?
Groundation Day, for those who don't know, is the day when His Imperial Majesty Emperor the King Selassie, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, came on the wings of the wind to Jamaica and also to a few more Caribbean countries, Trinidad to speak also, and a different one also, not to remember right now. But in Jamaica he came on April the 21st, 1966 at Norman Manley Airport. You see what I say? And he was greeted by
about 100. It says 100,000 Rastafarians.
Thousands upon thousands of Rastafarian people. Rastafari colours everywhere. Every protocol get broke up. You know what I mean? Them couldn't hold INI forward. INI was step in and the king embrace INI. You understand? And one good thing about the vibes, it's the vibes there. Say, my mother tell me she was there.
Your mum was there?
My mum was there.
Mommy Joe was there?
Yes, sir. Last year, man, I tell you. And she said she see the king.
Really?
Yeah, man. And she said the king was, divine and majestic and, pleasant and all these good things. You see me I say? Dress well and, you see me? And she was a little girl at the time, but she can remember clearly. Yeah, man. So it was a joy to hear my mother tell me, say, boy, she see the king. When the king come to Jamaica and the whole vibes, It's an energy. Me give thanks. Yeah,
so how come your mum was there? Did someone bring her there?
I feel like when time this was happening, most schools brought their children from school.
Okay.
You understand? Because it's a very important visit. It's not a normal visit where, nobody not get informed about it. I think all schools, probably churches, probably all the Rastafari community, of course, first and foremost, got the news and got time to kind of prepare, get buses or coaches or whatever it is to meet at the nearest spot where the king I drive to, and some got a chance to go to the actual airport. You understand? Yeah, man.
I know a lady, she was from she's from Eritrea. She said she saw His Majesty as well. Like a lady that's known my mum for a number of years. She whenever I see her, she tells me the same story about when she met him as well. Well, she didn't meet him, when she saw him, sorry. And
True.
what being in his presence was like and stuff like that. So, but also as well, Rita Marley. You're saying your mum was there at the airport.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm just like looking up on Instagram, and it's saying Rita Marley, Bob Marley's widow wife. She was also in the crowd on the day as well, and she remembers seeing a stigmata in his hand of the emperor while he was waving, and she became enlightened with his divinity. So Rita Marley was actually there when he arrived as well, and said she saw marks in his hand and stuff. So I think it's one of those things where these days should be remembered, and I'm glad that Groundation Day gets an actual day in the Rasta calendar. It's a day that we shouldn't really forget.
No, never.
We celebrate His Majesty's Earth Day, Empress Menin's Earth Day, Jenna, and the coronation and stuff. But I feel like there's so many other things that happened as well that we shouldn't lose sight of.
No.
And that they should be acknowledged and they should be remembered. So
Sure.
it's nice that Groundation Day is an official Rasta Day to remember and celebrate.
Yes, sir.
But also on Groundation Day, His Majesty was in the Caribbean during that time as well. So he also, like you said, he visited Trinidad and Tobago, and I think he made a stop in Barbados as well. So this year marks the 52nd anniversary of His Majesty passing through the Caribbean.
Rastafari.
And yeah, man, I can't imagine something like that happening now in this day and age. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I know when he went to Jamaica, I remember seeing all the pictures, and I think someone made the pictures colour now, so you can kind of get a more like realistic feel of what it was like. And you can see the pictures of Mortimer Plano going up to the plane to greet His Majesty.
Yes,
and then there was a picture of Prince Emmanuel. Meeting His Majesty as well. So it kind of makes you think like, okay, if he didn't ever go to Jamaica, what would that have mean for Rastafari? Or would it have been Rastafari was there already before he visited, because like he said, 100,000 Rastas came to visit him at the airport.
True.
But I think that just sort of like cemented, you know, the idea and the whole Rastafarian movement of His Majesty going there. It was like, okay, he came to see us.
Solidified.
Yeah. You know, and that's just probably how it was meant to turn out.
Sure.
You know, so that's Groundation Day.
Yeah,
What's the next celebration coming up in the Rasta community is
it Battle of Ottawa?
Battle of Ottawa was gone, you know. That was in April. Yeah, that one went past already. That's at the beginning of April. And then Empress Menins is like around the same time. Yeah. So it's kind of like no, there's African Liberation Day, which happens in May, which Rastas acknowledge. And then, obviously, in June is Leonard Howell. Leonard Howell, who's, you know, considered Pinnacle. The first Rasta and founded Pinnacle. His Earth Day is in June, and then you got His Majesty's Earth Day in July. Then you got Marcus Garvey's Earth Day in August. And then September is New Year. So there's lots of different...
In Kutatash.
Yeah, in Kutatash. There's lots of different dates and stuff that Rastas acknowledge. So we're just acknowledging that Groundation Day was yesterday.
True.
So big up all houses of Rastafari.
Yeah, man, give thanks for life.
And then today is the 22nd of April.
Yes, sir.
And today is the 25th anniversary of the murder of Stephen Lawrence. Now, for our international listeners, they might be thinking, who's Stephen Lawrence? So Stephen Lawrence was a 18-year-old black teenager who was on his way home with his friend Dwayne Brooks one night in London, and they were waiting at a bus stop when Stephen was attacked by a gang of up to five white youths who hurled racist abuse at him and brutally stabbed him, and Stephen died. It was a huge case in the UK for those, you know, who are listening from abroad, and it changed race relations, it changed policing, it changed discussions surrounding race, it changed society, because Stephen's parents, Doreen Lawrence and Neville Lawrence, were so determined to get justice for their son, so determined that this wasn't swept under the carpet, so determined that, you know, they get a fair trial, they get, you know, they were just pushing for everything. So that's a little background to what we're talking about. But also this week the BBC aired a 3-part documentary which aired on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, which just went through the whole story. We got to actually see pictures of Stephen. I think this was the first time I saw pictures of Stephen as a child. So it kind of, rather than just seeing the same picture of him, you kind of got to see, you know, pictures of his schoolwork, or hear his friends talk about what he was like at school, what music he likes, you know. And I think that made it even harder, because it's like you got to know him and then you automatically remembered that he was brutally murdered just because he was black. So the documentary I found, we can talk about the documentary first. I found it fascinating, but fascinating in the sense that there was so much detail in it. The way they went through everything with a fine tooth comb. You know, they went through, you know, what Stephen was like. Then they went through on the night. Then they went through what his friends saw, Dwayne Brooks, what his mum was doing at the time, where his dad was. It was like so much detail to digest. But then at the same time, it was just heartbreaking. You know, the aftermath, because then you're seeing how it took its toll on the mum, how it took its toll on the dad, how it affected their relationship, how they were quizzed by the police, and it was just like, it was like, how much can one family take? You know, but I remember when this happened, like I was young, I was in primary school, and it was like I didn't really, you know when you're like, not that you didn't really know about race, you did, but you didn't know that racism still existed to that level. You know what I mean? You know, you knew people might not like you because you're black, or not like you because you're Asian or whatever, and they might give you a funny look. But at them ages there, you didn't think someone would actually kill somebody because they're a different race. And you didn't think that in London. And I think that's what shocked a lot of people, is that when it happened, I think a lot of us were, you know, happy-go-lucky and, oh, yeah, everything's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was a shock.
Wake up call.
Yeah. You know, like, I found it, like, really, 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 really shocking. And then, obviously, as I grew up, going through high school, college, you kind of followed the case, because the case was still ongoing. The case is still, like, ongoing now, because they've only caught 2 people and imprisoned 2 people. So there's still people out there, you know. But as you're growing up, and this case is going on, you can't help but take notice, because Stephen Lawrence is a name that you've always heard ring in the back of conversations, whether it's in your house, somebody else's house, on the phone. And it was just like, the years went on and nobody was caught. They were still out there. And then I remember when they caught the 2 guys, and people were waiting for the verdict, and I knew a lot of our community especially were on the edge of their seat, because they were like, are they going to let them get off? Because they found the new evidence with the new, like, forensic technology that had been developed over the years. They were able to look closer at their clothes and stuff, and they found new evidence. But I remember a lot of us were like, oh, do you know what? I don't know if I'm going to watch this. They're going to let them get off again. You know what I mean? And I just think it was just so damaging. I think that case just damaged a lot of the black community's trust in the police. And I'm not saying it like it's something new. Everybody knows that, because even the McPherson report, when he looked into the case, he found that the police were institutionally racist. You know, it was a proven thing. But I have to say, I've got nothing but love and respect and admiration for Doreen Lawrence and Neville Lawrence. I don't know how they found the strength.
Salute.
You know, they really did dig deep to make sure. You know, and I mean, it did cost them their marriage and stuff. And that's the sad part, is that, you know, it not only did they lose their son, they lost so much more in the process. As well. So I've seen a lot of people paying tribute to Stephen Lawrence today on social media, and there were celebrations. I know there was a church service in Kensington, and Neville Lawrence was there, and then they laid flowers at the spot where he passed away in Eltham. But it was just sad. It's just every time I hear the name Stephen Lawrence, I feel sad. You know, like, why? Why? Like, do people still think like that, with that much hatred? I mean, yes, it was 25 years ago, but then the levels of racism that exist in the world today, is it much different from then? You know, especially with, like, what's going on in America.
Exactly.
It's like, come on, like, there's space for everybody to exist. You know, we can all just
coexist, you know?
Yeah, but I know, didn't you used to live down excuse me, you used to live down them sides?
Yeah, I used to live up at what the place you call again? A place named Abbeywood.
Is that near Eltham?
Yeah, that is near Eltham. It's not far away. Probably about I would say about half an hour away. 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour away. Yeah, so it's like Shooters Hill, you have Plumstead, and then you have Hollywood.
Hollywood? Eltham?
Abbeywood.
Oh, Abbeywood.
Abbeywood, so like, you know what I mean? Hollywood, see what you want to go on, yeah. Correction, people. Abbeywood, Zin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm used to reside in Abbeywood for a while, and it's like, it's a place where you have a mixture of Africans with a few Caribbeans, but its majority is white people, and the energy is a bit different down at them places. You know, right now I'm on in the west side, and it's a different energy. But you know, over Abbeywood side, Plumstead side, going forward to like Erith and them kind of place there, over the same place where Shooters Hill and all them place there, or not Eltham and them place there. It's like you still feel that kind of vibe where you're not wanted, you're not welcome. What are you doing here? Kind of vibe. You get me? I say, and I can remember a few specific moments where I'm on myself experience certain kind of vibes, being shouted at through people driving in them van. I'm on walking on the road and people driving in them van and shout out abuse and you know what I mean, the N-word and thing and the whole monkey vibes, and people try even spit at eye through them window same way.
How long ago was that?
That was like 12 years ago.
So even like after,
About 11, 12 years ago, yeah.
even after what happened to Stephen 25 years ago, you 12 years ago were still facing like
Yeah, man.
racist abuse like in that area. But then it's like it makes you like I mean I noticed like when it depends like what area, London's like very diverse, like it's very similar to New York.
True.
In that it's very diverse and there's a lot of people living, you know, in a big city. But sometimes it's like you can easily just go 10 minutes up the road or 20 minutes on a train and come off and you're looking around like, hold on a minute, is this still London? Where am I? Do you know what I mean? You can go from like a nice, bubbly, vibrant area that's multicultural, everyone's getting along, there's no vibes, and then you get on a train and then say you just get off, you don't know where you are. And you're looking around like, and then people are like staring at you like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I find mad about London. Or sometimes you get off and then you could be like the only black person in that area.
Same way.
And you're thinking, raw, hold on, where's this?
You can feel it. You can feel the eyes. Them staring at you. You know, and it's like, if you even try to forget the time or try to forget direction for go wherever you're going, nobody no one get time. No one show you where to go. You have to kind of just figure out for yourself, or hopefully see somebody will look like you. Ask, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, man, them place a place where you can still feel certain kind of vibration.
The tenseness.
Yeah, certain kind of vibe you still at certain places, you know? Yeah, man.
I mean, I've been down that side a few times, and the atmosphere, like, it's probably changed now, but this was like about 10 years ago or whatever. It's probably changed now. But when I used to go, it used to just feel like, I think I went one time and it was the World Cup. And I remember just seeing like, you know, like if it, like where I live, it's like you would see Spanish flags, like people are supporting Spain. You'll see Portugal. Obviously, you'll see England flag because you live in England. Sure. You'll see a couple of Brazilian flags. You'll see, you know, a Ghana flag, someone supporting Ghana. You'll see an array of flags. I remember when I went down to them sides, and I got off the train, and I'm there walking, like going to my friend's house, and then it was just like all I was seeing was like England flags. And I was like, oh, okay, like, right, everyone's into this world. I was thinking, everyone's into the World Cup. Like, everyone's into the World Cup, really. Like, but then I was, like, noticing, like, hold on a minute. When I was in Grove, I was seeing all these different flags. When I was in Bush, I'm seeing all these different flags. When I was in Brixton, I'm seeing all these different flags. But then it's like I got off, and all I saw was England flags. And it wasn't just the fact that I just saw England flags. There's nothing wrong with supporting your home nation in the World Cup. But it was the stairs. It was like people going inside, calling their mum to come out and look at me walking down the road, like, and pointing. And then their eyes are following you down the road and you're thinking, I'm not that strange looking, like. So I feel like what you're saying is true. Like, there is certain areas of London where there's still a tenseness when it comes to race. And I mean, thankfully, I haven't ever experienced, like, you know, someone shouting abuse at me. That's not to say it doesn't happen just because it didn't happen to me. You're telling me it happened to you, so that it's still there. It's still there. And I'm like, there needs to be, I don't know what it is with the UK, but there needs to be, like, is it we don't talk about race enough? Is it we don't talk about racism? Or anybody who does talk about it, they're just kind of shut down? But I feel like there's an issue, there's like an elephant in the room and it never gets discussed, and it's race. And then if you do bring it up, oh, you're a troublemaker, you're playing the race card. Exactly. And I'm like, it's not a card to play. If someone's experienced abuse, whether it's racist, whether it's based on their religion, whether it's based on their gender, or whatever it is, they should have a right to talk about that abuse. And then it shouldn't be up to you to say, oh, you're talking rubbish. It didn't happen to you.
Straight.
So I feel like there's a lot to learn on the anniversary of Stephen Lawrence's murder, and people should be looking at, how do we go forward? You know, how do we ensure this doesn't happen again? How do we ensure that you know, people are comfortable to come out and say, listen, I experienced racist abuse, and they're going to be taken seriously when you do report it or when you do discuss it with people. It's not just, swept under the carpet. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like there's lots of lessons to be learned. And I feel like, hopefully, it's only made London more stronger when it comes to that. I feel like because of what happened to him, and I would hope that London is more, wouldn't tolerate that happening again. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel. So what's been going on is basically the Prime Minister Theresa May has apologised to Caribbean leaders.
Fire burn.
You got your lighter.
Fire burn. Yeah, man, lighter there, man. I see fire burn.
Yeah, so she's apologised because deportation threats have been made to children of Commonwealth citizens. So the Windrush generation arrived in the UK between 1948 and 1971 from Caribbean countries, and they were given the name, like, the Windrush generation because they arrived on the MV Empire Windrush, which was a ship, and that arrived at Tilbury Docks, Essex, on the 22nd of June in 1948, and it brought workers from Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados and other Caribbean islands to come and work in response to the post-war labour shortages in the UK. So they came to help rebuild the country, and some of them brought children and had children here. Well, they started families, but they brought children with them. So back in the day, they were considered legal because, you know, these Caribbean islands were part of the Commonwealth.
Yes.
But years later, 50 years later, they're now saying, you know, you're not British.
Yeah.
Can I see your documents? People have lost their jobs. People have lost their homes. People are not entitled to benefits. People can't access their pensions. Some of them are being detained in detention centres or threatened with deportation to be separated from their families. And I'm just like, how did this happen?
Wicked people, man.
It's 2018. How did this happen?
Wicked people. You know? You see, wicked people always do wickedness. It's as simple as that. So I say, no matter what a person say out of them mouth, just watch them actions, you know? And actions speak loud. So if you observe and see where that woman they do, you see, say, boy, is a wicked action though. And from people do wickedness, a wicked man. You know, so a lightning and brimstone and fire blazing. See me I say? Yeah, so yeah, man. Them thing there, I just assure you, say, boy, you can't really expect people to be like you because not everyone have the same heart are the same thought. You wouldn't think of doing that. You wouldn't think of making someone come and build your country and went and then build your country and you were nice and everything good now. It's me I say you have what you have, you get where you want, so now you are going. You're just taking up space and you're just taking up taxpayers' money, you're just taking up this and taking up that and all them things there. But them forget say boy 50 years ago when time them up on them face and them same people here help lift them up. So that's ungratefulness and wickedness. That's all I can say, you know?
It's just really, really like sad. I can't imagine being like 81 or 75 and you worked like 40, 50 years and then you can't access your pension. You're old, you can't access. There's a man called Albert Thompson. He's got, I think, prostate cancer. And they said because he can't prove he's British, he can't access the life-saving treatment he needs. He needs to find £56,000 to pay for treatment for his cancer. And I'm like, hold on a second. He's worked all his life. You know, it's not... How is this allowed? How is this... Like, for the whole couple of weeks, I've been scratching my head, Asha. Like, what is going on? It's like you just use these people and now, oh, yeah, okay, we can just get rid of them. But you know what I do like that people are speaking up about it. Do you know what I mean? People are speaking up and they're not letting them get away with it.
No, you can't do that.
You know, and now there's talks that they may be compensated. I don't know where the maybe is. They need to be compensated.
Yeah, everything never get that way.
Because if they paid their taxes into the system, why can't they just access that money? Elderly people shouldn't be homeless. They shouldn't be able to not get access to healthcare. They shouldn't be in detention centres. They shouldn't be deported if all their family is here. And if they've never left, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, if they deported me to Jamaica or Grenada, I'll be happy. I got the beach. I got this. Yeah, but then if you're somebody who came to Britain when you was 3 or 2, like a lot of these people, and you've never left the country, you've never left the UK because you didn't have your paperwork or whatever, you know, if you've never left and you've got married here, you've worked here, you've gone to school here, you've had children here, grandchildren here, for them to deport you back to the Caribbean islands, no matter how beautiful it is there, it's going to feel strange because you've never been back there. It's not like to say like, okay, I fly out to the Caribbean every year and you kind of touch base with your you know, your Caribbean roots and then you come back. That's different. But for like an elderly person to be shipped back to a Caribbean island that they haven't been to for like 65 years, that's inhumane. And all their family is here. Some of these people are sick. They got children. There's a woman in Jamaica right now, and I think she's got 6 children here. And she was wrongfully deported. And they're saying, oh, because I think she's ill, she might not be able to come back. Now, how is that right? These are people's lives.
Did you see the apology?
From what's her face? Theresa May?
Yeah.
I did. At first, she didn't want to apologise because at first she refused to meet the Caribbean leaders. At first, she refused. And then it was like, okay, she was forced to. And it's embarrassing because she was the Home Secretary at the time who brought in these laws and to get rid of this and to tighten up on immigration. And she thought she could maybe, let me pass these laws and no one will notice. And now it's starting to affect people. She's trying to backtrack like it wasn't nothing to do with her.
History speak for yourself, you know?
You know, and I think it's crazy because it comes down to things like basic admin. They're saying, they lost people's landing cards. They don't have records of people's landing cards.
That's bull.
And what else is it saying? Let me have a look. It says the Home Office did not keep records of people who it granted indefinite leave to remain in the 1970s.
That's rubbish.
So if they didn't keep record,
them always conveniently not keep record, not have video cassette or video whatever in a camera. So conveniently, every time when they come towards INI, them always lose video cameras, them always lose data, Them always you lose this, lose that. Not know they will lose.
The camera wasn't working.
Yeah, camera wasn't working. There wasn't no battery in the camera. It wasn't plugged in or something. And now the man said, boy, with this case, some kind of registration of all these people wasn't kept properly, and they lost it.
And really, now to gain official. So if you are caught up in this Windrush scandal, it says in order to gain official recognition, people must apply for an official stamp known as a no time limit, or an NTL, at the cost of £229. So now if you can't access your pension, you can't claim benefits, you can't get any access to public funds, where are you going to find £229 to get this stamp? Right. You're going to have to borrow from friends and family.
Alright. That's why, it's sure again, like me tell you a while ago, say, wicked people do wicked things and wicked acts, If you know, say, all these things that reach these people and you still have a try to come raise some kind of fine, you put them in the whatever position them in right now, you put them in it. And you will tell them, say, if they get back to the position there, they need to find money if they take themselves out.
No, they need to pay.
Yeah, exactly. They need to pay money if they get themselves out of this thing where it wasn't them who chose for going to this thing. You see me? Them come upon the agreement, say, once you come forward, you get legal, you become a citizen, basically. You can go anywhere, you can look for any job, anything you want to do, you can do as a person who was born in the country. And now, like I said, 50 years later, they want to take it back from you and say, blay, them lose this and lose it. Nah, bless.
And to think, these when these people came, they were children. They were 4, they were 5, they were 2 months, they were... Do you know what I mean? And their parents came and worked and built up the country, and they came and still did the same. And then now it's like, okay, you need to go. But the thing is, the changes to the immigration system happened during when Theresa May, who is now the Prime Minister, she was the Home Secretary, and she wanted to clamp down on people who were living in the UK illegally. Now, these people are not living in the UK illegally. No. So she introduced basically the Immigration Act, which was in 2014, and that required landlords, employers, banks, the NHS to check people's immigration status. And basically that was designed to restrict, illegal immigrants from working. But these people were legal, but they just didn't have. They couldn't prove that they're legal because their things had been disappeared. There was one woman saying she had a Jamaican passport with the stamp. I think it's indefinite leave to remain. She had it in there, but when she went on holiday, she missed someone stole her passport. So if that's your only stamp, and you haven't got a British passport because you didn't apply for one for whatever reason, some people you don't get round to. We don't need to go into that because you're legal. If your passport's been stolen, how are you going? And then the Home Office don't keep a record of people who they've granted indefinite leave to remain to, or their stamp. How are you going to prove?
Do you really believe that, though?
Well, I was reading somewhere they lost the landing cards, and then I was hearing they found them now, and so it's just a mess.
No, but in your own consciousness, in your own mind, do you believe the Home Office of England, United Kingdom,
don't keep because they keep records of everything? Britain is the most the most under surveillance country in Europe or the world. Yeah. So I don't understand how they don't keep records of people coming into the country.
But conveniently right now, it's not going to serve their purpose. So it's it's draw a card. That's how we call draw a card. You know what I mean? They might try to give INI a 6 for a 9. A joke thing.
Yeah.
But people keep on showing that same kind of energy what you're showing right now. Keep on posting them posts. Keep on having the meetings, the gatherings. Keep on changing ideas.
And the petitions.
Yeah, and signing the petitions. Keep on keeping this fire blazing, because if you allow them to get away with it, they might go try something else next time. And if this don't teach the item a lesson, say, boy, you are going. All them a smile and I give nice speeches and everything on them platform and podium. Them don't give a shh. You don't know what I want. So just wise up and open your eyes up, is it?
Yeah, they definitely need to They need to sort this out. And it's not a question of maybe they should give compensation. You should. Amber Rudd and Theresa May, you need to put your heads together. There should be compensation. It's not a question of, maybe. People have lost everything. People have lost everything. And those people who have been wrongly deported, if they wish to return to the UK, they should be given that option. If you've wrongfully deported people who are not meant to be deported, yeah, they need to be brought back if they want to come back. And if they don't, you need to compensate them for all the money they've lost, all the benefits that they couldn't access, their homes, everything like that. They need to be compensated so they can start over. Do you know what I mean? It's shocking. It's shocking. I can't imagine working for that long and then you can't get access to your pension because, do you know what I mean? No, man, people keep... I know there was a march in Brixton, I think, on Friday, for the Windrush generation, but I want everybody to, keep sharing stuff on social media, keep writing to your MPs. If there's anybody out there who, is caught up in this, they're not sure what they should do, I think there's a helpline and they can Google and find for some information on what they should do and where they should go. Because, now is the time. Don't sit there and you haven't, your papers are missing or whatever it is. Don't sit there because this window of opportunity is only going to be here for a little while. They're going to probably put a cut-off date. And if you didn't apply, then, you're illegal now. You know what I mean? Keep up to date with everything that's happening, and the changes, because everything is moving fast. I understand people have been phoning the Home Office. I think they got a designated phone number. And a lot of them are getting their cases, because it's in the news now and the pressure is on, a lot of them are getting their indefinite leave to remain and stuff. So I think the last I heard was maybe 4 or 5 people now have got their official stay in the UK. But I think there's about a backlog of 200 people who've applied. So if that applies to you or your family member, get on it, and hopefully we can get this sorted out. And I hope that in the weeks to come we're going to be hearing about some compensation, because that is just ridiculous. But so that was the Windrush generation thing. We're going to keep up to date with that. We'll be keeping you guys up to date.
Man, straight up.
Man, so what's been going on in the reggae world? What's been going on with before I go, we got a few shows coming up. Well, not us, but reggae shows. So More Life 20, what year is it? 2018 is happening, May Bank Holiday, and that's got Taurus Riley, Baby Sham. I think he just goes by Sham now. Why am I calling him Sham? Sorry, Sham. I know you as Baby Sham, and Jamil.
Yes, sir.
And then we got Damian Marley on the 1st of July. I have to go to that show.
Wow.
I have to. Stony Hill, that's been on repeat for like months.
Yeah, man. Tough album, man.
Yeah. So, what's been going on in reggae world? I mentioned Jamil. What's Jamil been up to?
Jamil, whoa. Right now, I think there's a kind of buzz around Jamil right now. I don't think it's for the right reasons, but Jamil overall is a great artist. You know what I mean? I love Jamil music. I listen to Jamil music all the while.
The strongest soldiers get the hardest fight.
See what I say? Straight.
The really people live the hardest. Sorry.
Nah, man. I see him where say, man. So, yeah, it's a good vibe still. So, Jamil right now is in some kind of lyrical battle with an ex-artist. Right.
Which one?
Yeah, the bridging with them call him Tommy Lee, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some kind of altercation are going there, so with them a true word and I exchange lyrics, song for song and all these things.
Nah, Jamil, don't even take no notice,
yeah,
man.
So my vibe is Jamil, leave it alone, Jamil, because right now the world need good energy, positive vibe and good message. And yeah, do that already and just keep doing that, because you don't make them stray you and dry up on some different thing where and not really your calling.
Yeah.
Stay up on your passion, stay up on your part and stay up on your purpose. You see me I say? Yeah, man. So I don't know the Upful King, Upful, Cupful, Blazing. InIAhReason podcast 5, episode 5, right?
Episode 5.
Yeah.
It's good to be alive.
Yeah,
my name is Sinai Flary. His name is Asha to the Hype. Heights. I mean, Asher Heights.
Asher Heights.
Asher Heights. Yeah, and my name is Sinai Flary. That was episode 5 of InIAhReason.
InIAhReason.
Give thanks for listening. Give thanks for all your comments and feedback. Like I said, if you want to get in touch with us, you can hit us up on social media. Find us at InIAhReason Podcast on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search YouTube InIAhReason Podcast and you will find our YouTube channel there with all the previous episodes there also. And like I said, Asher's linked up the WhatsApp phone. So if you
WhatsApp.
Yeah, don't be sending us no chain letters about send this and you'll get 10 bags of lucky money through your door. Don't send us them kind of thing. You can send us your feedback, comments, topic suggestions. If you want to send us a voice note, we might play it on our show and see what going on. But the number is 075 76677 477. Enough sevens there.
What about sevens?
When the 2 7s clash. And if you're abroad, just make sure you put +44 and take off the 0. So it's +44 75 76 677 477. Enough sevens.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Upful, you know. Evan, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So my name is Sinai Flary. His name is Asher Heights. And together we are InIAhReason Podcast. Join us next week for episode 6. We now run no tricks.
Breezy.
Give thanks for listening. One love, one aim, one destiny. Rastafari.